Never close your eyes, never stop and listen, never feel alive, and you're nothing missing. You don't need a reason, let the day go on and on. Let the rain fall down everywhere around you, give into it now, let the day surround you. You don't need a reason, let the rain go on and on.
Created in 1963, Ayos is one of the 5 subdivisions of the Nyong and Fumo division in the Center region.
Give into it now, let the day surround you. You don't need a reason, let the rain go on.
It is considered a pivot of medical and paramedical training in Cameroon. The town's rich medical history smoothly blends with its urban history, which evokes moments of glory, nostalgia and hope in anyone who lived the colonial era. Situated along the National Road number 10 linking Yaoundé and Betua, the Ayo story cannot be told without mentioning the role of some colonial actors, prominent amongst them Dr. Eugène JAMOT.
Every day you fall, everything's in kilter. You don't need a reason, let the day go on and on.
Born on the 14th of November 1879, Dr. JAMOT was a French military doctor who played a key role in the prevention of the sleeping sickness disease in Cameroon and in other African countries. In 1922, Dr. JAMOT was posted to Cameroon, where he discovered that 30% of the population had already been affected by trypanosomiasis caused by the tsetse fly. He then set up a logistical and scientific base for the program for the fight against sleeping sickness in Ayos, where he also put in place prospection teams. He then created a training school for health auxiliaries, nursing assistants and nurses, which played a crucial role in the training of the first generations of Cameroonian doctors.
Due to the fact that we are located or situated in forest zone, and we also have the Nyong River crossing Ayos, we had that fly named Che fly, and the fly used to bite inhabitants and transmit to them sleeping sickness. Then many inhabitants died, and Dr. Eugène JAMOT, a French military doctor coming from Ubangui, came here to try to help us to look for the solution. And then he came here and started to go village by village. And he succeeded in finding the solution to that sleeping sickness.
1921 to 1931, 10 years at the service of humanity. Unfortunately, a medical error committed by one of his collaborators in Bafia brought his mission in Cameroon to an end. The evolution of Ayos as a medical city was accompanied by the emergence of a social class made up of mostly nurses and other medical staff who worked with JAMOT. Today, they are known as JAMOTans. Ayos is equally a very cosmopolitan town, thanks to the influx of patients from other parts of the country in the days of JAMOT who finally settled there. These JAMOTans have one way or the other significantly contributed to the development of the town. Most of them took advantage of the colonial presence to develop not only their medical careers but equally commercial and agricultural activities.
My grandfather, who worked with the Dr. JAMOT, he used to do what we call prophylaxis, and they have treated this sleeping sickness. We have kept a very good memory of this period. I've been in Limoges to see how the Dr. JAMOT has kept all these memories. We found there his tools, we found the pictures, we found the families. Let's say the grandson of Dr. JAMOT, who talked about his grandfather, and according to that, we were brothers. Since I was a grandson of Mr. Salah, Kamba Salah Pierre, who worked with Dr. JAMOT, and met that time the grandson of Dr. JAMOT. We built a very fructuous collaboration. Yes.
Ayos, a blend of colonial, medical and urban history. Chief medical officers at the time equally served as administrative officers.
Ayos is not only what is found now, because far away as 1924, doctors that headed the hospital which is found here were at the same time the administrative officers. From 1924 to 1954, you have them, you had them. There were many of them who used to rule this area. And the district just came as from 1954. That's where we had district. But it did not last long. It lasted just 6 years. And then after that, since 58 years, we have now a division.
Monuments, rehabilitated and old buildings of bricks and other colonial relics could still be found in Ayos in memory of Dr. Eugène JAMOT and in recognition of his works.
Dr. JAMOT has been an hero for us, because our grandfathers and mothers, our parents have been treated by him. He has trained our parents to be medical personnel and to continue what he has started to do. Then we can see behind me his residence, and we can also see that we are very proud to have this great hospital today.
The old house where JAMOT lived on the hill, which gives a panoramic view of the town of Ayos, is a must for any visitor.
Right now, we have a library here for our students. They can come and read here. We also have, in another piece of this residence, all the archives of our council are conserved here. Notably, those related to our civil status are conserved here. We also plan to make here our training center for our young girls, and even our tourism agency we are creating will be here. So we want to make it, let's say, with the help of some partners and the family, maybe the Saint-Sulpice Council where JAMOT were coming from. We want to make it a kind of museum, a cultural place where young people can come and train and read and develop their intelligence.
Buildings of the Ayos Regional Hospital Annex were directly inherited from the colonial era. Although the hospital in 2006 was rehabilitated, some old structures which constitute the most emblematic of the memory of Dr. JAMOT were spared, notably the dispensary, the pharmacy, and the surgical bed he used during his stay in Cameroon. Let's now retrace some of these memories. First, the JAMOT Festival Square, one of the last old buildings of the hospital, which had long served as a pharmacy and whose architecture is the subject of many tales, such as the presence of an underground tunnel.
It has been very difficult to travel by road. So, when Dr. JAMOT wanted to reach Malmayo, he came here. Behind this, in this house, there was a channel. He went there so as to reach the valley of the Nyon, and then he carried a boat to go to Malmayo. It was also a matter of security. You know, he was in charge of the administrative matters. So he was a kind of the envoyé spécial for the French government here. And it wouldn't be something that we couldn't hide. He used to write reports for the colonial administration. It's not closed. The people, we work there since now. Sometimes when we have feast in the hospital, we come here to celebrate.
Then the dispensary.
Just behind me, there is the dispensary, where JAMOT was the service head. He worked with lots of people, those who helped him to carry out his job.
The foundation stone of the first ever lessons delivered by Montalieu, which gave birth to the Ayos Nursing School.
In this area, you can see the foundation stone. It recalls the first lesson carried out by Montalieu, that is in the August 1932. This foundation stone give way to the creation of training school that we've got here in this in Ayos. And we have got students like Charles Asale, like Moïse Mouiche.
Then the grave of Roger Lagarde, one of JAMOT's assistants.
Roger Lagarde was a captain doctor in charge of treatment of colonial troops. Then Dr. JAMOT went out with other troops to prospect around this area. And later he contracted a brief illness. There was nobody to intervene, so he died. But before dying, his will was to be buried here, and you see then his tomb. And to recall his memory, the Cameroonian government decided to give his name to the pavilion Lagarde that you know in Yaoundé.
And the monument of Dr. Eugène JAMOT.
This has been built by friends and to recall the memory of Dr. JAMOT by people of this area and even the administration. Then later what happened, it happens that when Dr. JAMOT went to France, after him there has been an incident in Bafia. And there, what happened, it has been an overdose of the medicament. Yes, for this overdose, people came blind. They say about 700 people came blind. And then for that, he has been sued. And JAMOT refused to present himself into court where he has been sued by the administrative council. So 2 years later, they found him dead.
So dream until the night becomes the morning light. Tomorrow will be Christmas Day.
With a sequence that began with sleeping sickness, then the Buruli ulcer, including leprosy. Today, the Ayos Regional Hospital Annex is a specialized center for the treatment of Buruli ulcer and other chronic wounds.
This hospital was created at 1926 by Dr. Eugène JAMOT. Then, faced of the difficulties to have the local practitioner in the medicine, he transformed this site of like center to train, like a training center for the medical people. Then, after then, the evolution led build the hospital and another building, the new services with his team, and then with time he created 2 schools. The first one to train the nurse, and the second with time came with the creation of the care helpers. Then Today, I think the hospital is very big. Since 2012, the rehabilitation took place with the government and the partnership with government of Cameroon and the African Bank of Development. We have many services here. We have emergency, we have the medicine ward, we have the children ward, we have maternity, we have gynecology, we have radiology, we have the unit for the people who suffer of HIV, and we have also the laboratory where we can make many types of exams.
Ayos is also known as the City of Excellence, where expertise is groomed and passed on from generation to generation.
Dr. JAMOT is the man who wins the sleeping disease. And then this place was the high place of the high prevalence of trypanosomia. But today we also have a high seat of biliary ulcer. But otherwise we have many other diseases we can see anywhere in Cameroon, like malaria, like typhoid fever. And we also have many surgical pathology, like hernia, like that's the first. And then we have many injuries. Maybe we are near of the road, and the first activities here is in the farm. So sometimes you have many injuries, there were many accidents and injuries. So the surgery here is in the first line of the medicine. In the other side, we have a high prevalence of HIV here, and then we have around more than 1,000 patients that we are following every month here about HIV. We have a long history about the chronic wounds, and then like biliary ulcer and others. So today is one of the specifics or the specificity of this hospital. Dr. JAMOT is like a man for the science and the humanity. So our proud is to take care, to maintain a life, and to take about that legacy, and to continue to do like him, to continue to go on, to fight against every kind of disease we will see on our way, because we need to be high, we need to fight against disease in the time. Today, tomorrow, we know that the challenge is more.
The hospital's history rekindles strong emotions among the people. A place which once upon a time was recognized nationally and internationally as a healthcare, training and experimentation center. Many are of the opinion that while it is important to keep the memory of the one who fought and conquered the sleeping sickness disease, it is imperative to reconnect with the past, where Ayos was known as a reference center in tropical medicine.